Hi, sorry. Please excuse my chapstick. Good morning, or 1 hour worth of it here in the Pacific Standard Time. Let's get down to what I mentioned, possibly doing a very, very easy tutorial because I don't like doing them. I admit that, but I got to start somewhere because I'm getting bored and going all out with my big giant paintings, and well, not giant to me. Um, I still have to work on that, but let's just get on with it. So for starters, I'm going to draw. I don't know if you know Kido Tori, the little chicken from Rilakuma. It's Japanese. Yeah. If you're not going to understand, that's fine. But they have simple designs, and for me, I cannot say this will be for everyone, like whatever they're aiming for starting to draw. You have to pick something simple, easy, and something you actually like. And I cannot vouch for everyone's interest. You know, I looked on Pinterest just now, and they just show like shapes, geometrical shapes, eyeballs, still life, and I don't like them. So I will just start early on with things that I do like, which is little cartoon, little mascots in here and there. So let's just start. It's already a minute. I'm yammering. So Kidoi Tori is this round chicken chick. I think it's still a chick. And I know there's like not hidden stories, but they have like publicized stories about each character, but at the same time, there's not that much. But from what I can gather, this chicken likes to clean up or has no other choice because I'm not even sure if it's a boy or a girl. I'm pretty sure it's a boy, but it's been a while since I drew this character, so I'm a little bit forgetful. But I just want to draw this little chicken nugget because it looks easy to draw for me. So I already have a general shape here, and then just give the little, I guess they're wings. And if you're not very steady with your hand, that's fine. I'm that too. I was a lot better when I was younger, but as I got older, I'm not very good with pencil sketches first. I'm very sloppy. And there are artists that are crazy talented at keeping their pencil work clean. I think, especially for me, the lead will go on my hand because I'm busy drawing bigger drawings. But this, because it's simple, that is less likely to happen. Less, but I'd say it will not happen, but we'll see. So I'm just finishing the bottom here. Kind of looks like a rice ball or onigiri. And if it's not totally perfect to the original reference, here's the reference. And it's okay to use references. Whoever keeps saying don't use references, true artists, you like shut your face, okay? Just practice for the sake of practicing, and it's okay to gather references when you can, because you got to start from somewhere. You can't just start. If it's straight up from your mind, hey, that's great. Go ahead. But let's just start simple and based on what I assume most people will do, which is gather references and to observe and to try to figure out what the heck's going on. And then for me, it kind of works as a puzzle. The chicken, the mouth or beak, of course, it's in the center. Well, not all the time, but in this is like face front. And then the eyeballs are very far apart, not like a person's. And it does not, as long as it's okay, an okay length, you should be fine. If it's way off, then yes, of course, fix it. So the mouth is around here. And if you do mess up, you do have an eraser. Bear that in mind. And it kind of looks like a half of a circle, but very rounded. It's a little weird, but not too bad. And then a little bottom half here for the bottom part of the mouth. And then the lines are very bold, so if you want to color that in at some point or later on is fine. And then the little nose holes. Originally, I did not care for Rilakuma growing up. I would see it here and there. But then later on, my husband saw a picture of this chicken or chick named Kido Tori as per mentioned. And he mentioned, oh, this chick has a pig nose. Then I was obsessed. So because of what he said, that it looks like a pig, and I like pigs because they're very cute, I latched onto this chick. So anyway, back to the eyes. See, it's around here. Oh, it's not totally like it, but it's fine. And I'm not very good with measurements. I just make do with what I got. And even if it is a little uneven, if I do color it, especially with acrylic paint, that will save me the, I have a grace period of fixing my mistakes. So now I'm already noticing this one is a little off because now the body is too wide, but this is a general shape. So I can still adjust it. Here have the tiny hairs and then little blush. Well, this is their version of a blush. I wish I could draw a face like all the way in the bottom, but my setup is not the best right now, but it's okay. Oops, I did it wrong. That's okay. I did them both wrong. See, that's why I did not want to be a tutorial channel. I'm going to make mistakes. And that's okay, but I think some people assume because you are making a tutorial, you know all the answers, and the answer is nope, I don't. Okay, so now, oh, sorry, it's messaging. Okay, so now I'm looking, I find the problem already. So this is too wide. So I have to go back and try to fix it. So see, I knew this would be a problem, but well, first time, you can't be perfect. I think if I made these bigger, it should have been fine, but I did not. But as long as the likeness is there, it does not have to be definite. That's what I think anyway. I think that's one of the misconceptions about doing art stuff. Unless it's a part of your work and you have to be perfect, then okay, I'm sorry for that. But if you don't, you're just doing this for fun, you don't have to. So what I do like about these regular pencils that's for school, you don't have to have like a separate eraser. Some people don't like it, but I stopped caring about that crap as I got older, and art supplies have gotten expensive. So as you can see here, I'm not using those fancy schmancy art pencils. Excuse me, I gotta dust it off. Because, well, these are my kids' art supplies. His school supplies, they don't have to bring them to school, so I get to keep them at home. So when he does homework, he has something. But, yeah, I want to show that you don't always have to have the highest of highest quality art materials. I think that's more if you're doing it for work, it's your profession, then you have to, then okay, then maybe. I don't know. I never did that before. But for the sake of just starting somewhere, it's okay to use simple materials or easily accessible materials that you can even get at the dollar store. Just bear in mind with dollar store, pens and paper and pencils, that's totally fine. But like paint, I don't know yet. I haven't gone that far. At most, maybe I think Daiso, but I haven't tried those paints yet. Maybe in one of my future videos, I can try it. Okay, so now it's a little smaller. That's okay. Okay, it looks a lot better now. So while I try not to be super accurate, I try to be close enough. But some people don't like that. But it's just a hobby and it's just for practice. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so now it looks a lot like him. Okay, now I gotta do the feet. And this one is here, I think. Okay, and then now to clean up the rest. 9 minutes, that's not too bad. Sorry. The only thing I don't like about drawing in pencil, yeah, it's really messy and it gets everywhere when you have a lot of problems. And I have a lot of problems, dang it. Okay, so I do not have a steady hand with making lines. What I do like about this kind of art is you can make the lines more bold and kind of hide your mistakes. But if you're trying to color it, you can also hide mistakes from there too. But for right now, let's not focus on that. Let's just get something done. And I'm kind of having to rush because I still have to do this painting on the side. Because I'm almost done. And once I finish that painting, I need to go back to my big pile of works in progress. Oh my God, I made so many. I wasn't supposed to, but I did because I keep finding, I saw so many ideas while I was looking for things to draw, you guys. I need to not do that. But if I don't and I ignore it and I forget, it's gone. There's no chance of me wanting to make that drawing again unless I see it again in happenstance. And that in itself is kind of rare because I forget a lot and I look at a lot of things when I scroll for references. And it's so much fun to just do that. So I can kind of understand why people don't want to draw. Like, I could just get the picture online. What's the point? But it's fine to draw it. Shoot, what's wrong with that? Because I know nowadays people don't have a lot of time. They got work, they have family, they have social lives, they have their own hobbies of reading, games, going out, this and that. Who has the time to draw? Like, there is time, you just got to find it. Okay, so the nose could be better. It's more wider, but it's okay. So we have our chicken. Yay. All right, so we can continue further and draw the bear, but the bear is kind of off. I think it's supposed to be further down here, but hey, it's my first day and I could probably put a box or something. So now I gotta draw the head. Yeah, I'll just make a box or some other. And if you do make mistakes, again, if you have pencil, you're fine. You'll live. I've yet to see a person who like makes an incredible piece of work, makes a tiny flaw, then just throws it in the dumpster. I've yet to see a person who's like that. I don't think that's such a case because you can just fix the mistake. I think if the mistake was really, really irreparable, like you cannot fix it ever, then you I don't think that is the case. You can totally fix it, but there are some people who just, I don't know. I just hear stories sometimes and it's kind of weird. You don't have to throw it away. I'll keep it. Okay, so this, yeah, the thing about this sort of art, while it seems simple, it's more difficult for me. Fun fact. I wish I was joking. I was like, oh, yeah. The detailed paintings, I'll show what I mean. This is easier for me. It may take longer, but I have a lot more fun with this. This takes me a lot longer, funny enough. Well, I'm kind of rushing now, but if I had to take my time, like without being watched, it's a lot harder for me because they have like a certain standard of design and I tend to not follow standards. And so it's a lot harder for me to try to draw exactly as the original reference. Even if I do, I will. Well, in this case, it's okay because it's pretty easy, but there are some simplified characters I'm not very good at drawing. Like in Sanrio, Hello Kitty, I can't draw her very well. I don't know, something about her design I'm not very good at drawing. But I would try to draw certain times where like child things from my childhood. See, now I screwed up. This is too big. See? Plus, I'm talking too much. That's my own fault, but I want to talk because I don't really talk outside of this unless I do customer service, not for work, but when I have to deal with customer service, when I have a problem with something online or in an order. I hate doing that, but I have to. No, I can't like, hey, Mom, can you make a phone call for me? I don't want it. Like, are there people like that still? I think so nowadays. I keep hearing stories about such adults. I can't clown on that too much, but at the same time, there are some things that you need to do on your own, sir or ma'am. Stop it. So, Okay, so it's supposed to be a sketch, but I kind of have to rush. I'm sorry. So let me see. Treat it like a puzzle, but not too much. Okay, so I did it hella wrong. I think it's supposed to be smaller, like about this size. Yeah, when they have like certain shapes, and there's two of them, and they have to be, there's supposed to be some level of symmetry. I'm not very good at that. All right, so from my angle, it's sort of correct. Okay, let me just put this away here because I'm not. Okay, it's a lot better. It's kind of slanted. So that's why when I was looking at these portable artist desk things or boards, you can have it at an angle and you can draw like this. So it's much easier to draw. Because if I do like this, my depth of perception is kind of messed up. So that's why I have to do this. I don't have an artist desk or table or what have you. I just draw on better at my desk and hunch over. It's not good for your posture. So I'm pretty sure that's why my posture is all shot up, but not too bad, but it will affect. For some reason, the angle's kind of off. So sometimes you're going to encounter that. And I always have that problem, but I'm kind of in a rush. So I can't do that right now because I have 16 minutes. But I also want to do a sketchy kind of look. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. So Real Akuma's mouth is around here. Yeah, I remember I had a painting of this. I don't have it on me right now. I think I stored it away. I had a Real Akuma and Friends painting, and it was cute, but my God, I had such a difficult time painting this boy's head. Boy or girl, I don't know. They kept saying we're not sure. It's a mystery. Because sometimes he usually dresses up in boy outfits, but once in a while he wears a kimono, a girl's kimono. So I get kind of confused sometimes. So I'm not sure. But yeah, he is so difficult for me to draw. And the head especially took me so long to complete. By the time I was almost done, I was fed up with the painting. And I was like, even if I was already done with the head, you can tell how many times I've attempted to paint over the mistakes I had. It was very obvious. And I was like, I don't like it. And so it still looks good. It's just, it just kept reminding me of how many freaking times I had to go over those lines that I screwed up on. And I don't like reminders of things that I'm not good at. I mean, who does? Okay. But for those who aren't aware of what I had to go through, it's actually an okay painting. It's just I haven't finished it because they have like some fruits along the border, and I did not complete it. Okay, I'm almost done with that because I got to start on that painting so bad. I was going to continue yesterday, but I wasn't feeling so good. Okay, this kind of looks like Real Akuma. I think the mouth is a little big, but I'm not super picky right now. Okay, and then I have a ruler for once. I can use you, but I'm not good at doing measurements, unfortunately. I know there are people who are really good at measuring and making their art look more clean and precise, and I'm envious. I wish I can do that. Ugh, see, messy. But for me, I'm not good at that. So since this is like so out of, I gotta stand up. So I gotta make sure it is like, I'll just cut it off here just because I'm not supposed to be here actually. He's not really in the box, I'm tired. Okay. And that's it. Like it's very clear where I actually had to use a ruler, but that's fine. And then I'm not really going to color it. It's just a sketchbook. I'm just putting just an idea like where there's color and there's no color, I guess. You don't have to do this part. I'm just being a little picky. And then for here, I just do this. And that's it. Okay, it's very sketchy, but that's what I like anyway. Not perfect, but not bad either. This would make a cute hat, actually. But let me just try to make it a little bit more consistent with my awful line art. I'm a lot better in inks, I swear, but I'm not going to do that for today. If you want to see line art with the actual inks, feel free to let me know in the comments. Anything else you want me to try to draw that's easy for, other people to try to draw. I don't want to do step-by-step tutorials too much just because I don't do them. When I try, it's just okay, and I don't stick to those rules. So I just eyeball it most of the time, and if I make a mistake, as you can see here, I made lots of mistakes, and that's fine. Just I think if you totally want to get rid of them, you most likely have to paint over them somehow, and that's okay. Well, for me, painting works. If with markers, I'm not that good. So yeah, here we go. Very cute. I thought I had extra time to do another drawing, but no, I don't, because I thought this would be a lot faster. Oh, that's kind of cute. Oh, all right. So now we got to deal with big boy here, Mr. Stone Monkey. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So what I do like about doing different things, it's a huge contrast, and it doesn't look like, oh, she can't do. Yeah, I've been working on this. So I can do, like I mentioned earlier, I'm a lot more motivated to make this kind of work than this. This is a lot harder for me. But because it's just for a demonstration, demo, or just to show what I am, to make it a little easy for other people to try, I can do that. But for me by myself to draw it and to be more careful, it's really difficult for me. I don't know. I don't understand why my brain works the way it does, but that's what I've been handed, and I got to deal with it. So, what's this? Okay, so this is still good. Oh, wait. Should I get another paintbrush? These are all kind of, sorry, I thought I had things going swimmingly, and apparently not. And I might have to buy more detailed brushes. I don't want to, but they get so bent easily, even if I try to be careful, because I'm not very clean with my brushes. I mean, I'm pretty sure not a lot of us are, but there are some people who are very particular about their art supplies, but I'm not those people. So now what the heck am I doing with this guy? Here you go. I'm not totally following the entire color scheme of the Stone Monkey. I just want his features to pop out a little more, but at the same time, I don't want to totally copy every single crevice and crease of his face. It's really, I'm not that good. I like the idea, like from far away, it looks like it, but up close, like, oh, okay, there's something going on. Okay, now what the heck am I doing? I don't have, oh wait, I have white paint, okay. So I think I should put some white paint. Usually I would try to use acrylic paint pens, the very fine kind, the finest that I can find, but I have a hard time finding acrylic paint pens that are, what is it? Fine line, like this fine. They're kind of chunky, even for the fine line. So it's really hard for me to be consistent with their line art. And it's, I try not to have chunky chunky lines, but at the same time, like I mentioned, my paintbrush situation is not the best of times. Okay, so yeah, this is the part that's a little boring. I think is boring for regular people. I don't know if I'm a regular people, but I find it interesting, but that doesn't mean other people do. That's why I've always kind of not make a full fleshed out tutorial of me painting from start to finish. Because it's one thing where I do it by myself, but then when I get other people involved, I don't know you, so I cannot guarantee that this will be entertaining. I know, especially on YouTube, from what I can gather, you have to be entertaining to some degree. Like, you have to have like an interesting voice. You have to be like this character, dress up, have a weird little gimmick that's marketable and capture attention and all this sorts of stuff. And I'm not any of those things. I just like making paintings. That's it. And then I saw on YouTube, I think it was seriously just yesterday, about the decline or the decline of creativity and how it's endangered because of algorithms and social media, basically. Because it's not just in arts. I think in a lot of things where entertainment and arts are involved, and performances, like for me, for sure, arts. I know a lot. I'm not saying I know, but I know of and have seen a lot of talented artists that do incredible details, but they don't get much traction. But they still get more than me. Just they deserve a lot more attention. I've seen very simplified art or memes, or they're very simplified, but they are more popular. And so when they're more popular and people start seeing like, oh, they are popular, I need to be like that, because if I do this, or very detailed, like they don't give a shit. And there's also if you do this kind of stuff, you have to be a freaking prodigy and perfect, and you can't have any mistakes. That's or you have lots of money. I don't know. Because I'm not very good at this stuff, funny enough. And it's like, oh no, don't say that. No, like if I've looked a lot well enough online, and it is, I cannot compete. This is seriously for fun. And if you think I'm talking bad on myself, just look long enough. You'll find crazy impressive art out there. And I'm like, I can't compete. I quit. Well, that's what I say in my mind. Of course, I'm not going to quit, but I just say that out of reflex and low-key cope, and then I just move on. That's about it. I don't take it that seriously. I don't take myself too seriously unless there's a special case, which is rare. So for the most part, I say stupid things to, I don't know, to make myself not have too much of an ego, I guess. Like, there's always someone better than you. Yes, there are so many, and they're younger, have more access to technology, know the technology. I don't know shit. At most, I used to do Photoshop, and then I stopped because my computer kept crashing half the time. And so when I do have access to things like iPads and Procreate, after like 2 weeks, I'm like, I'd rather do this. It won't crash on me. Well, I mean, not that it did on Procreate, just I did this way longer. I like it more. Who'd have thought, because I was actually for digital art and doing work on the computer. But now I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. It's not like I can't do it. It's just I'm not that interested as I used to be. You get it? Okay, so, oh gosh, there's someone, his mouth. MOUF. Mouth. Sorry. So yeah, that decline of creativity. It's not just in art as well, like movies, TV shows, and there used to be very interesting shows, but I do know that like US would try to get ideas from other countries, especially from, I'm pretty sure the UK or England. I think recently some Chinese movies, they also tried, movies or drama series or thriller series, they also tried to get from China as well. I didn't know about that part with China, but my husband, he watches a lot of shows from China still. And he's like, hey, they have a US version of what show. But the main character is not a man, which is the original main character in China. It's a woman. And it's like, and he thought it was so, it's not nuts. He doesn't say anything against the woman, just like, why can't you just have like a regular guy? Why does it have to be a woman, you know? And so my husband does not understand the whole concept of woke propaganda here, but he gets it to the point where it's like, you didn't have to change that person. He could still be another guy, you know, white guy, doesn't have, or Asian American guy, just guy, but it wasn't necessary. They didn't have to do so. There's like unnecessary changes, and he didn't like that. So, but like, just, you can tell the story, but you could just stick to what the original source was like. But I do notice, especially in TV shows and movies, they don't like to look at the source, especially like comic book movies or TV shows. They just say, we don't want to follow the patriarchy standards of comic books because they're very male oriented. They were created basically mostly by guys, right? And they don't want to adhere to that kind of standard. They want to see, like, what if more women were involved? And they have good intentions, but then it just got so blown out of proportion, and they're not popular. They're canceled. It's like, you need to see what you're doing wrong there. But even if there is constructive criticism, some of the creators take that as a kind of, they take personal offense rather than as a constructive, useful criticism to fix the problem and to go back out there and try again. I don't like that. I wish, because it's okay to be like butthurt about it for a little bit. It's normal. Hello, we're human, but take into account that you got to fix the problem or you're wasting time and money. You know? But it feels like they just, let's just do something else, but similar, and see if they'll even notice. And I'm like, what the fuck? But this is just me from what I've seen throughout the years. I'm not like those video essayists that have to research full in depth. This is just what I've seen from watching shows and movies. I don't even like watching TV shows and movies that much, to be honest. But recently my husband's been watching mostly Chinese dramas or movies, and he says they're really good, but a lot of them are not released with English subtitles. And he does try to introduce to me the ones that do have them, but some of them, I don't know, they're not my style. But the ones that were interesting are the ones, like I mentioned last time, where people are normal looking, supposedly, like they're just everyday people, and shit happens and they got to figure out what to do, you know. And it's based off like a regular person. They don't have superpowers. They're not like drop dead gorgeous models, or they have a sixth sense that only they have. They're just normal people that so happens to have like an extensive obsession of an ancient Chinese game of Go or Chinese chess. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's very interesting to see how that works. But I think if you especially play the game like Go, and you like, oh, okay, yeah, that's how it is. Like, I'm like, I don't know, but it was pretty cool how he used his knowledge of the game Go. I'm not sure the Chinese version name, but that he used it to adjust and adapt to getting away from the situation he was in. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. And then I think though he has been a little bit impressed and low-key obsessed with Black Mirror. He was telling me how great and incredible it is, and there's a lot of seasons, but he was trying to get me into it. But then when I watched it, I don't know why I'm not interested. But if you're going to try to convince me, it's okay. I'm good. I haven't been watching. I did mention last time I was watching dramas from China, but I kind of stopped. Mainly because I had to take care of some things at home. I wasn't feeling well. Things are wrapping up for my kids' school, and I'm just trying to take care of some things here and there. So yeah, I've been a little bit busy, so I'm not really watching all at once. But I did find a few extra dramas that I want to watch, and I miss the old ones. Not from the US, funny enough. I actually was talking to a friend last night about old Japanese dramas. I used to watch Japanese dramas like crazy, but not a lot. I just saw ones that caught my eye with their promo videos or their synopsis or some other, and they were pretty cool. Some of them are kind of cartoony and weird, but they were kind of funny. I thought they were funny, but if I show them to my husband, like, this is stupid, like, he'll say things like that and just walk away. Oh, thank you. So, sorry, I'm throwing him under the bus, but sometimes he'll just make some snide remark and then just go away. I'm like, okay, so it's okay for you to say that, but if I say that about Black Mirror, and I don't watch it, but sometimes he kind of makes me watch it while I have nowhere else to go, but I don't watch it. I'm just like, I'm just painting. But yeah, that's why when I don't find creative things in the US, I tend to venture outside the country, which is why I don't think, here's what I think. Internet is not always a bad thing. You can find so many other things online from other countries that can really make you think more. You find another perspective that's not always Western, oriented, and they have some crazy interesting stories. Some of them are a little weird and not to your taste initially, but after a while, especially when it gets you hooked, like, oh, okay, this is something. And my nuts, they fell. Don't worry, they're in a bag. So I was always looking for things online, especially anime and dramas. So when I was growing up into adulthood, I don't really have a lot of nostalgia for Western things. I mean, I still watch some sometimes, especially cartoons, but like TV shows, I don't really watch too many. I did watch some, like House, Prison Break. I'm trying to think. At least those were kind of creative. Monk. I used to watch Melrose Place. Or Models Inc. Oh my god, I watched stupid stuff too, but I also watched like the family TV programs when I was a kid, like Family Matters, Married with Children. Okay, maybe it was a family, but a dysfunctional kind. There was like In Living Color, that was so much fun. Wayans Brothers, that was like, oh my god, I love those shows. The Simpsons, even though I wasn't supposed to, but I did. There was just so much stuff for me to watch back then, whereas now I'm like, I don't even want to watch TV anymore. I don't even like watching movies, even though my husband's more hopeful that maybe this is good, and I'm like, I don't want to waste my time. Like, he says after 5 minutes, but then sometimes there's something that grabs him in the story and within 5 minutes of a movie or TV show, and he'll still want to watch it, but then it just falls flat on its butt, and I wasted my time waiting for anything good to happen. I get really upset. It's like, I want my life back. Why did you make me watch this slop? Okay, what were you trying to do? And he does this a lot. That's why I'm like, I'm not watching movies with you. Leave me alone. So it's not my husband's fault. Okay, I already know that. But at the same time, I just don't feel the need to watch a lot of Western movies anymore, just because I don't see anything much interesting. Meanwhile, Japanese dramas, there are some, like I mentioned, some weird ones, but some ones that were kind of interesting. Some of them really sad. One of them in particular, I think, is 1 Liter of Tears. Oh my gosh. If you don't like crying, don't watch it. They also talk about I'm not talking, I'm just going through the list of dramas I know of. I'm trying to think. There was one I saw that was a little, not recent, it was several years ago, but I saw it a few years ago. It was called Mother. It was about this teacher, I think, like a little grade school teacher that encountered a little girl who had like abusive parents. Like, they neglected her like all the time. Like, they didn't want her. And so they left her in the trash. And so the mom, the main character, this teacher, she doesn't want to have kids. She doesn't like kids. But for some reason, she saw this little girl in the trash and she picked her up. She knows her. She's a student in her class and she seems very bright and always happy-go-lucky. But really, her life, she she's technically kind of running away from her own life by having happy things in her head. It's such a sad story, but at the same time, like, you get really invested into the story. That's how it was. So I was really interested in such a thing. And then that neglectful mother and her boyfriend, but more so the mother, was trying to get this the main character, so she can get her daughter back. She wants her daughter back. Like, you're stealing my child. But then she's like, I found her in the trash. You literally threw her away. What are you doing? And so, yeah, there was always this. It was really weird, but kind of interesting to see what happens with that kind of situation. And then, sorry, my friends are messaging me. And yeah, that was just one instance. And then there was a weird one also. I think it was called Guilty. It was about like a woman who just finished her time in prison. I haven't watched in years, but she came out of prison. I think she was accused of something. She was innocent but put into prison, and she spent a handful of years. And I think she left like in her early to mid 30s or something like that. And she had to start her life all over again. But if you've seen Japanese society and you came from prison, they don't like that very much. So she had a hard time like trying to readjust her life after prison. But I think she had some good friends that were willing to help her out, and they were freaking awesome about that. But then she tried to get revenge on those who accused her of the wrongdoing that she did not do. And she was a barber at a veterinary clinic, I think, and she would train some of the larger animals, I think a Rottweiler, to attack people. It was so weird, but it was like, what? I would never see such a thing in a Western TV show, but I thought that was kind of cool. But sad thing, something not so good happened to that poor Rottweiler. I think they had to take him to the side and goodbye, But I was like, what? Why would they do? See, that's the kind of thing. It was so weird. It was kind of interesting. Okay, I was like, oh, okay. So there were some weird, and there's a whole bunch of this. What I'm telling right now is just a small preview of what I was watching growing up, and it was so, well, not so much growing, but like over the years, and I was always interested. Meanwhile, here, well, I don't know about the dramas in Japan now. I don't know. I heard of one from my friend that came out after a few decades passed. Like, they have a third season just recently coming up, but they're not released here. I don't know, but I don't know about the drama situation with Japanese dramas. What the heck? I stopped watching like maybe in the early 2010s, and so I've heard some complaints where they mention how it's always in a high school setting, and they're very not upfront about their feelings, and so they always and they have these weird voices to demonstrate how they are. And I don't think they're watching the right dramas. I think they keep going towards that area where they have dramas like that. I don't watch those. I get really, I'm too old for that. So some high school dramas can be interesting, but they can be a little messed up too. Some of them are also based off anime, which is also interesting, but also it can be kind of weird. Like, how does that translate from manga? They also adapted to an anime, but how do they adjust that from manga into a drama? It's kind of weird. But yeah, it was really, I was always interested watching them. If you want to know any ones that I've watched, feel free to let me know in the comments, or any that you've watched over the years, feel free to let me know. I'd like some suggestions. So yeah, I haven't really watched Korean dramas. I tried once. I really did not like it, but they always have that female character acting like she's 5, and they have the baby voice, and once I see that, I have to go away. I need to not watch that. I can't understand. I know that's like, there's a market for that, and people like that behavior, so they're winning and I'm not. But at the same time, I can't watch that stuff and take it seriously. I cannot. I don't know if you do, but I cannot. But some of them are not like that. There was a few dramas I was getting into on YouTube, but then They're Korean dramas, but then there's a paywall. Like after a few, you have to buy or rent it. And I'm like, oh shoot. One that stood out to me, but I never finished because I didn't see enough of this episodes. The Sound of Your Heart. It sounds super cheesy, but it's based off this Korean manga or manhwa. I'm not sure how to pronounce. It's so funny. I love it, and I didn't think it would adapt well into live action, but they did, and it was really funny. I was like, oh my god, that's hella funny. But I think they did a revamp. They brought it back a handful of years later, but they changed the entire cast. I was like, where's the old cast? I want the old cast. They were hilarious. But I think they changed it to new people, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to watch that. A change that drastic, I can't handle. I don't have to, like, I need to complain. I need to say why this is not good. No, I don't want to do that. I just don't want to watch. I don't have like a huge meltdown on Twitter or X or Threads or what have you, or Blue Sky, whatever you're using. I don't have that kind of time. I'm doing this, all right? But there's just so much out there. I don't think you would think with our access to the internet, we would have more accessibility to looking at more stories and dramas and movies and stuff, and just have a good old time. That's what I was doing over the years. I wasn't complaining about how I'm so sick of US stuff as much as as I have been now. I just ignored them. Like, okay, now just do your thing. I'm going to look for things that I'm interested in. That's all I've been doing. But now it's getting more obvious that a lot of things that are being produced in the US with TV shows and movies, don't get me wrong, there are some good ones. I just don't watch them. But there's a lot of complaints, like the Snow White movie. They made a big deal about certain Marvel universe, Star Wars universe TV series that no one wants to deal with, and some other stuff. I don't know, but what I don't like is people near me try to get me involved, and I'm like, I have no interest. Don't make me watch that stuff. Excuse me. But they try to convince me, oh, it's so good once you get into it. But it depends. If there's some reason, it can be the stupidest reason ever. I think I remember trying to watch Lost long ago because I think the Korean couple had Sharpays. And that was it. But then once the Sharpays were gone in their flashback, I stopped watching. That was my reason why I abandoned Lost. And so I was like, okay. So I have very superficial reasons to want to get used to Western dramas. It's that stupid. Like, if there's a cute animal in there, I'll watch it. But if they're gone, okay, bye. I'm not that big on celebrities. That's another thing I noticed about people around my generation. They are crazy obsessed about certain celebrities. Like, why do we keep giving them so much attention? And yeah, I know that's their job, but at the same time, you don't have to keep watching them all the time. You know, like, they're not watching you. Why should you watch them? They don't know who you are unless you actually have met them. But you're just another face amongst the crowd. It's like, that's how it is. Unless you know them personally, like you've known them before they were famous and you're still kept in touch despite their mass growing success. They're not going to know who the hell you are. But some people try to garner a reaction from them, like doing like anti-fan things. That stuff freaks me out. Like, why waste your time being an anti-fan? You can be a fan for something you like, but I didn't know about that concept until I thought it was like similar to stalker, and to some degree it is, but it's not. Like, they don't like the person, the celebrity, for whatever reason. Like, maybe they're prettier than them, they have all this stuff supposedly handed to them, and I'm like, I don't understand. I try not to delve too deep into that, because that stuff can mess anyone up looking into that long enough. I'm just like, oh, that's monsters exist. That's all I can say about that. Just not in the way that we think growing up. So anyway, I didn't really do much. This is what I have so far. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was going to add more of like the contrasting color. Maybe at most glowing eyes. That would feel more fun for me, but I initially tried to put more of the contrasting color, like red orange, around. It didn't look right. Maybe a more experimental version I may try again. I don't know yet, but for now, I think I like it as is, but I have to tweak some of the line art here because this is kind of ugly. But so far, I still like it, despite the small minor mistakes I will point out and try not to, but I do anyway. So yeah, yay. Okay. um Sorry, I was supposed to be talking about the decline of creativity. I mean, yeah, it's definitely on a severe decline, but that doesn't mean that they're not around. It's just they're not being paid attention to. I'm not saying I'm creative because a lot of my stuff on my shameless plug, where's my shameless plug? My shameless plug on Instagram. Like if you see my profile on here, what's funny is that I have I'm pretty sure 1,100 posts. Not all of them are all art, give or take, don't get me wrong, but like a majority of them are like paintings, drawings, crafts, and yeah, but eventually I started going into like my collections, pictures I take when I go out. Once in a while family things, but I try not to show that too much because people are creepy. And so I try to do more, but in the followers, while I am appreciative, I notice a whole bunch of them are not very engaging and they don't really say or like anything. So I don't know whether or not I should add them back because I don't know if they're like a bot or someone trying to scam me later on. I don't know. I've had rare but encounters of such things, and I don't want to deal with that. Plus, I like to pretend I'm dumb, or am I? Am I pretending or am I not? That's up for you to decide. But yeah, I don't like where I'm working hard on my paintings or my reels, and it's there. I don't even get 10 likes. If even 6 likes is rare for me, even though I do such things. It's like, but I do hear that I have to engage more with other artists. Like I have to go to them first. So why do I have to go to them first? Why always I have to initiate? But yeah, I'm pretty sure most of us are introverted. Once the first person reaches out and then there is some kind of reaction, oh, I like your stuff too. And you like my stuff too. Okay. So I kind of get it, but I don't know. I have to be kind of careful at the same time because there's also art theft that's rampant, and they may have, and I've seen this recently too. Some people, they would grab art from other smaller accounts and then put it into their own account and claim it as theirs. See, this is where having to be careful nowadays is kind of like our own kind of art struggle nowadays. And the decline of creativity. You don't want your original work to be, taken from a jerk and they post it online as their own work, claiming they did all this stuff, and they just grab from your stuff, and you don't get the follows, comments, and likes as much as this person. I don't like that. I don't want that to happen to me. That's why I just do mostly fan art, and I am well aware there are people way better than me. And I think they usually grab people more that are doing digital art because not a lot of them like traditional art as much. So, but that doesn't mean I'm in the clear. They can still see, oh, she's a nobody. Let's use her stuff. That is also possible. So I try not to, I have to be on guard and have to gauge the situation as to, okay, should I befriend this person or just watch their activity, be polite, but see how they respond? It's a little scary out there when I've seen time and time again people getting their art stolen, and it's from not just like a person. Sometimes it could be like a retail company. Like they get your shirts design, they get your print design and put it on a shirt and sell it in masses to customers, and they think like, oh, this is an interesting design. Where they get it from? They came up with it themselves. No, they got it from someone online. Like, yeah, that's freaking crazy. So that's why I do notice and am aware of and can accept why nowadays it seems like not all artists, but a good chunk of us would not want to befriend others so easily, not like 10, 20 years ago, where it's like we just are easy to befriend because maybe we've had experiences where people try to steal our work, and they started off with a friendship, and then they start suddenly having a separate account, and they start selling your work behind your back and not telling you or giving you credit for your hard efforts, you know? So we may not be friendly, but we have our reasons. But I think if you're just genuine for once and you just want to make connections and they just happen to be artists of some kind, hey, I'm always down for that stuff. But for now, you got to be careful nowadays. It sucks. It's like, I want to make friends, but at the same time, we have to admit and understand that we all have lives. Things are different now. It's not as fun and carefree as it was 20 years ago. And it's such a killjoy. I think internet was a lot more fun when it was new and exciting and we didn't know so much. And when we learned new things that was from the internet, it was like a rediscovery of some kind. Like, oh, I didn't know that. And we have like-minded people that are not like toxic jerks that make fun of others for looking weird. And I'm like, I don't understand that. And also, yeah, creativity, the decline of looking different, it's frowned upon, or you have to look so different that it's like your brand to be always actively looking different. I don't know. I do notice a lot of women in particular, and sometimes some men not so much, but they do have a certain type sometimes. They're starting to look the same. They don't try to do like their own individual style anymore. I remember when I was younger, there were always those weird people that try to dress differently. I mean, we have them, but then now they have their own clique. And but now, if you've seen especially young kids, because I go to my kids' school and I see the older kids and they all wear baggy clothes, I don't know about parachute pants, or like baggy hoodies. I'm not sure if their hair is washed. I don't know. Preteens tend to not wash themselves sometimes. Not all of you, but it's like, you should get that checked or get some soap. And then if you dress from the previous trends, then you're not cool. I'm like, I've seen that before. It's nothing special. I still wear skinny jeans because it looks better than me than freaking ginormous pants. I did get like 3 pairs of those baggy pants because they were on discount, and I cannot fault on a discount. Other than that, I don't wear them all the time. I don't like that the bottom cuff drags on the ground. I used to not care when I was like 13, 14 years old, but now I don't like that. I hate it. That's why I have to get big shoes, kind of, to make sure my stuff does not drag on the ground, because the ground's filthy as hell, okay? Unless you live in a country where they clean the streets properly, tuck in your pants. Tuck in your pant leg somehow, or wear something that can make your pant leg cuffs not drag on the ground, because people do nasty stuff on sidewalks, okay? Let me see. I could add a little of this one. I wonder if I should add a little bit of blue, but it has to be kind of dark. No, I'll just do this one. Hey. Okay, maybe I'll use a different one. Where is you? Deep sea. This is too bright, I think. Let's just see what happens. If I don't like it, I can paint over it. Okay. I won't do too much, just a little bit here and there. It's not too bad, but I also need the green. Oh gosh, there's like all these. I always encounter like, I need more color. But I should add some orange at some point. I don't know yet. 58 minutes. I need to wrap it up later. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. If you do, I really appreciate it. I mean it. Every time I see a few people that stick around, thank you so much. Because it's usually empty. It's fine. Okay, not really, but I pretend it is. yeah, like the beauty standards, they're always changing throughout history, and some of them can be quite deathly. Nowadays, with BBLs and, plastic surgery, boob jobs, and um, I don't like poking around where you don't have to fix anything. I don't like that. But I understand like certain situations where they kind of like, okay, you get a pass, go get that surgery. But when you don't have anything wrong with you, I don't think you should touch that. Just leave it alone. Especially like some things go worse when you get the wrong person. Oh my God, you see any documentaries about such things like botched plastic surgery, botched BBLs, botched breast augmentation and stuff? My God, don't be eating lunch, dinner, or breakfast, or even a snack watching that stuff. Okay, you've been warned. I warned you. Don't do that. If you're gonna be little Mr. Rebel, and you want to have a big meal or Thanksgiving meal while watching those documentaries, do that next to a toilet. Okay, that's not funny. It's messed up, but you've been warned. So yeah, I like to go through all that just to look a certain way. And it's different from country to country. Some of them, it's like, oh, so you can get men and be more attractive. In other place, it's so you can get a better job position. You have better marriage prospects. Not also some men do get some surgeries as well, not just women. A lot of them, yes, but there's some guys too who are insecure, and that's human nature. Why do we have to fault them on that? But when it endangers their health and it changes their features drastically, and it was almost their last time. It's like, geez, man, I don't know. It's scary. I can understand to some degree, but at the same time, I don't know. I really don't. I can't fault them on that. That's their choice. They agree to it, but yeah, you also have to do extensive research, because there are some people out there that just want a quick buck, and they do what they can to get that buck, and sometimes they provide discounts. And plastic surgery is not cheap in general, but I even knew some people, I will not say from where or how I found out, but like they also wanted eyelid surgery because they have the monolid. But I didn't see them because that was the last year I was around that area. But I never met them again or saw like the results of that surgery. So I was like, oh shoot. Well, I wonder what she looks like now. Which is kind of sad because that person had the same eyes as their father, because they have the exact same eye shape. So I kind of felt sad for the dad, because I worked with the dad a little bit, and I was like, oh. So that also says a lot about, hating your appearances, but you got them from your parents or a relative to some degree. And it's like, but again, I can only understand so much. Like maybe they had some issues that they can't handle, and this is the way that they can solve it. I can only know from hearsay or from what I've seen offhand, but to actually know what they were dealing with, I could never fully understand. So if it makes them happy and nothing goes wrong, all right, then have at it. Just be careful, because some people don't stop after a while, or you have to keep retouching. What if something collapses? What if something, you have to retouch? That's the other thing. Like lip filler, I heard that stuff stays in there for forever. Even if it starts deflating, it doesn't leave. It just stays there. It just gets mushed around, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. That's what I just hear. And it's like, oh my God, what is that? Like, while I had my not facial features, like, I don't have like the standard facial features that is like sought after. I think I'm okay to some degree. At most, my skin recently is kind of getting blotchy because I don't know. I think it's allergies and my skin's getting old. That's the only thing I can think of. But it never got to the point where I have to get like special, like intense treatment on my face, or unless it's like a medical emergency, I don't want to touch my face or my nose or whatever. I just leave that alone. But yeah, I don't want to talk bad about surgery. Like, they have their reasons. And if they lived a life where, they had to be made fun of all of their life, and that's what they agreed to do to improve their lives, and it worked out in their favor long term, and they don't have to touch anything up afterwards. Hey man, have that life, have your fun. Just be careful, because some people are not so lucky. They think they'll have the same treatment, but they decide to get discount, or they did not research well enough and they got the short end of that. And I feel so bad for them. And then meanwhile, there are people making fun of that stuff, and it is easy to make fun initially, but when it happens to you, when you're being made fun of for something you can't control, or you made a choice, and well, it depends on the context. Just so messed up. So yeah, it sucks. Life sucks. So you just do the best what you can and hope that you find other people that like your stuff, that want to talk about such things, or you learn new things from other people, and that's all we can really do. But nowadays we kind of have to be on guard, and because there's so much crap happening to creativity, and like my account, I try to do different things, but it doesn't always work in my favor, or it only works once out of sheer luck. And then if I try it again, it's okay, but not as good, or people don't get impressed after a while and they leave. That has always happened. They don't come here for my art. They just like the random weird stuff I have. And then turns out, oh, she doesn't do that. And they leave, and they have that choice to do so. Like, I did not sign up to your account for that. And they'll just flat out leave. And so I was like, oh gosh. So I only have like 280 followers on, and most of them, I don't even know them. Maybe, I'm trying to count how many close friends. Less than 20 people. Around 20 people, give or take, I am familiar with. And then the rest, I don't know. If you want to know more, just message me some stuff and talk about our stuff. That's totally fine too. I'm always down for that. If I am a little busy and don't reach you on time, I'm sorry, but I will reach you once I know that you don't want to take my things. Okay, this looks a lot. I like the color a little bit more. That's good. Okay, that's a relief. I was kind of worried that this might make it too blotchy, and I kind of want to see if I put some yellow or yellow orange, or I don't know if that's doing too much. Or I just center it around the eye so it gives it that glow. Okay, so 1 hour. Okay, I need to wrap things up. I'm sorry. Thanks for sticking around when you can. Oh no, this one's kind of off. I might have to use the pen a little bit, but I don't have the exact color. But yeah, I only have black and white. Let's see here. Dots, we're fine. Okay. So yeah, this is the fine side. It's okay, but I want it finer. See how picky I am? So picky. Okay, so okay, I can achieve it. Never mind. It's just gonna be pure white, unfortunately. I wanted a gray, but it's not good enough. Okay, so I need to wrap things up. So what should we do with this decline of creativity? I think it depends on your situation. If you have to succumb to what everyone else is doing, so you can pay the bills, just do it. I mean, if you still want to do things offside that you enjoy and you have the time, by all means. I know at least a friend or two that is doing that. Like, they got to pay bills, they got to do commissions, and then when they want to do their own personal projects, then they can put that time to that. But if it's a hobby, hey man, keep being creative, do your own thing, and hopefully you'll find some people. But I think the other thing is you have to actually engage first. While I don't like to, I can admit that that's also one of my shortcomings, because I'm a little paranoid about encounters with people, because sometimes they act all nice to you and then they just leave, which has happened a lot to me. So I'm like, okay, thanks for nothing. But maybe in a way it's seen as a dodge bullet, so I don't have to deal with whatever the heck they're dealing with. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that they leave. It's like, okay, it saves both of us the trouble of dealing with your BS. Okay. And so I try to just do my own thing, and hopefully there are people out there that like my stuff. On my shameless plug, as per usual, I'll just keep throwing that in there. And I should do that more often, because I don't do that fancy photo video editing feature where they just have it shown up. I don't do that. I should. I probably can figure it out, but I just don't. I just don't. I should, and yet I don't. I did talk a lot about dramas and how creativity is endangered, and I don't know really why it is, but I think people are just afraid of losing money and just doing what they know best, which is nostalgia. And it does work. I mean, how many times I keep talking about 80s and 90s, and even right now 90s is very dominant in our fashion, in our TV shows, in our merchandise, in our movies, in our art. And it's like, ugh, I already did it. But sometimes, hey man, I succumb to the nostalgia. I did buy the baggy pants because they were on sale, and then that's about it. I don't go watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on repeat, or you don't have to do that. But there is a market, because it's working, of people banking on nostalgia. It freaking works, so they keep doing it. And what sucks is, like, the younger generations don't have their own style to be appreciative for. They're just following what prior generations have. Like around my generation, it's like, I wish they had their own stuff that they can enjoy, and they kind of do, but it's not a lot, sad to say. And a lot of them's more social media and internet related, so it's kind of like it doesn't seem as fun and creative anymore. Yeah. Okay, here we go with that. The lines are still kind of, I could probably hide it a little bit with paint, but for now I'm just I'll try to fade it out with some paint. Hopefully. I have to keep going back and forth, so that's why this is fast, but it also takes me a while, because I have to figure out what the heck, how do I achieve the look that the original reference has. But it does not follow the entire it's not a carbon copy of the original reference, because I want to put a bit more color into that. I like colors. What's wrong with that? So with my issue with the lack of creativity, I think I'm not saying I'm the poster child of creativity, but I do try to do different things, and it hasn't gotten me that far in Instagram. YouTube is a little different, but I do know, I am very honest, that it's not because of my art that my subscriber count is high-ish. It's small by YouTube standards, but it's pretty high for me, and it's a lot higher than Instagram. But I do know that the war shorts and weird movie shorts are the main reason why I have some kind of traction, not because of my art. It would be great, but at the same time, I get it. So I'm thinking about making a second channel, just my actual art stuff, but I don't know yet. I have to see whether or not I have the time to do that kind of stuff, because a lot of the rules on YouTube, I'm not very good at, because I like putting different songs, but they're usually royalty free, and those freak me out. But I don't know. That's why I'm still just thinking about it. If you think it's a good idea, feel free to let me know in the comments, or DM me on Instagram, or what have you. Okay. I think this is also supposed to be black, but I have to be very careful with the because the forehead is covered in like black hair, but it's like by strands. So I have to make sure I'm not covering the entire forehead and it's just eyes at this point. Okay, I'll just do this and then wrap things up. Okay, so that's what okay, so it's still not done, unfortunately. But that's what I got. It's I started it off with black paint and I like that one a lot more. But then when I added color, I had mixed feelings. So I have a difficult time with the little vein thingies around his face. It doesn't look like it's connected to his skin. It just still looks like blobs. So I'm going to be struggling with that because it's all over his top part of his face. I'm going to have an interesting time with that. Hopefully I can figure something out and it makes it look more cohesive to the skin rather than just blobs of veins just plopped on there. Yeah, so I think that'll be it for now. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for sticking around so much. It's okay if you're quiet. I'm quiet too, but if you want to use the chat and you behave yourself, be appropriate, please. I am more than willing to chat along with you and answer appropriate and friendly ass questions. But yeah, I will continue off camera or lie down or both, whatever happens. So thank you again for watching. This is Delion signing on now. I know I was supposed to do like a recap, but then I got a bit distracted, and you can watch it again and then figure it out. So yeah, that'll be it for now. I'll see you next week, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesdays until further notice and something weird happens. This is Delion signing on out. Thank you so much for watching. Yet again, I cannot thank you enough because not a lot of people do. And I'll see you again next week. All right, take care now. Bye-bye.